So today we're going to be looking at Google Genie. So Project Genie is like a real world vibe coding tool that can create actual worlds for you. Like you can see inside this video. So you can kind of create like this video game style world. And you just type in how you want to build it. You know, it's kind of like almost a fox or a dog inside a Skyrim right here. You can change the characters, you can create the worlds, you can edit different things. You've got world sketching as well. So you can prompt, but you can also create a living expanded world from text or images and define exactly how you'll navigate it, from flying through clouds to driving through the desert, etc. As you can see in an example right here. So you basically prompt the environment and you also prompt the character. And then you can create these characters that navigate real worlds. So it's kind of like you can create your own, GTA almost using this process. So here's another example. So you've got world exploration, and you've got like this full like navigatable environment that you can explore using Project Genie. And it's all generated with AI using Google's Project Genie tool. Here's another one. So this is where you can remix other people's worlds, right? So if someone creates a world, you can actually edit the world they've created, create your own version, and modify it so that it's working on your own platform. So like imagine in the future, you could take like a game and completely remix it exactly how you want, and then you can explore it how you want to, which is pretty amazing. So you can see the full details here. It says Project Genie experimenting with infinite interactive worlds, right? And this is available for Google AI Ultra subscribers in the US, and you can try it out if you're in the US and have a Google AI Ultra subscription. And you've now got access to an experimental research prototype that lets you create and explore your own worlds, which is insane if you ask me. So let's have a look here. Here's some examples. So 2025, they actually announced it last year. That was Genie 3. And now it's available for you to start creating your own worlds. And look at the quality of this. It's absolutely amazing what you can do. So this is a page. If I actually click on Try Project Genie, it's not going to be available. So if I click on Explore now, even though I'm on the AI Ultra plan, I can't get access, and it will just give me an error like this because I'm outside the US. Obviously, there's a few ways around that. If you're inside the AI Profit Boardroom, you can DM me. I'll give you some ideas. But yeah, basically, it's really insane what you can do and that sort of thing. What we got here? I really want to create a virtual reality game. Do you think this will assist me with this? I think in the future that's coming where you can create your own virtual reality games. But right now, you can kind of create your like a real world exploration tool. This is what you're doing with this AI. Michael says that's cool, kind of like how LLMs make things up as they go. This would be good for infinite world generation without any scripting or coding really needed. Yeah, 100%. That's exactly how it works. I mean, when I was younger, I always wanted to like be a game coder. Honestly, I thought that would be quite a fun thing to do. And now you can create your own worlds, and almost like a game, and you just type it in plain text, and the AI creates it for you. There's some amazing examples right here, as you can see. So you got like volcano, jellyfish. You got this crazy world that's very surreal with mountains floating above a waterfall. All sorts of crazy stuff right here. And who knows in the future what it's going to be like, when you combine this with like robotics, when you combine it with, for example, learning, imagine learning in like your own sort of virtual environment. That would be pretty amazing. And also virtual reality. How insane would that be? So you can see here, they said at Google DeepMind, we have been pioneering research in simulated environments for over a decade, from training agents to master real-time strategy games to developing simulated environments for open-ended learning and robotics. And then you can see how the three models compare. So this is still in 720p, by the way, for Genie 3. Domain, general, navigation, promptable world events, multiple minutes real time, right? And here's another example of a world that's been created. And then you can click the arrows to navigate through the world, as you can see right here in the bottom left. So you can sort of go through Mars on this little terrain. So you can see the prompt actually that generated this. It says, the video shows a first-person perspective of someone navigating difficult terrain in the middle of a volcanic area. This is a real-world video shot from the perspective of a wheeled robot that needs to traverse across a terrain. And it looks, it's very like, very interesting to see how it goes. Almost like it's infinite. Like you can just go through the whole map. I think if you've ever used to play stuff like Skyrim or GTA, etc., this was like the most fun thing about it, was exploring those different worlds. So now you can create your own in any style that you want. It's amazing. All you need to do is just give it a little prompt. I mean, this is interesting as well, because that's not even a complex prompt, as you can see at the bottom there. Just a one sentence prompt, but it looks amazing. Here's another one. So this is like a animation, like a cartoon one. It says, a vibrant 3D style, adorable fluffy creature bounding across a vibrant rainbow bridge in a fantastical landscape. Kind of reminds me a little bit like Mario or something. It looks cool. This one floating through the world. But yeah, it's just amazing that you can do this now. And who knows what's going to come out or what you can build and that sort of thing. It's pretty cool. And bear in mind, like, this is the worst it's ever going to be. So you got like world sketching, you have world exploration, world remixing. Those are the three main features of this, right? So world sketching is where you prompt with text to get your character and the environment. World exploration is where you actually navigate the environment and you explore the world yourself by using the arrow controls. And then you have world remixing, where you can take other people's worlds as inspiration and then build on top of them with your own prompts, right? To sort of remix them and restyle them. So it's going to be amazing. I expect that to come out to, the rest of the world probably later this year. Right now, it's only available to Google AI Ultra subscribers in the US. But it was the same with, for example, like Veo 3. That was only available in the US, and then it came out to everyone eventually. I imagine it's the same with Google Genie too. So thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, check out the AI Success Lab. This is a free AI automation community with 50,100 members, like you see. Comes with loads of training. We've actually got training on Project Genie, like you can see right here. We have a bunch of video tutorials and step-by-step guides on how to use Google Genie Project to build whatever you want. And this also comes with all my best automations and free tutorials, like you can see. And if you haven't checked it out already, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. It's available, link in the comments description, or go to aiprofitboardroom.com. And inside there, you can see we've got an amazing community of people learning and growing, and just posting and helping each other with AI. You can see that it's not just me winning with AI. Loads of people are building and scaling their business with AI automation too, which is awesome. And then also we have 4 weekly coaching calls, so you can jump on live calls, get help, get support whenever you need it. And additionally, if you want to learn AI automation but you don't have much time, you can go from complete beginner to expert with this in just 5 weeks, plus learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. If you want to go really deep on this and get the latest stuff, you can check out the SAP update stuff. We update this every day and we date it, as you can see. And then also, you get all of my best playbooks, all the stuff that's working for me, whether it's avatar videos, whether it's X automations, emails, shorts, Instagram videos, etc. That's all inside here too. And then additionally, you can see how to get more clients inside the agency course, how to rank #1 inside Google and AI search engines using AI SEO, and also my best 6-week roadmap that shows you how to grow a YouTube channel based on what's working for me with AI. So feel free to get that link in the comments description to the AI Profit Boardroom. Let's see what questions we've got here. Do I need animation and edit skill to build a faceless YouTube channel, or can I use some AI tools? Yeah, so check out the AI Profit Boardroom section. And what you want to do is go to the classroom and follow the guide inside the classroom here. So if you go to the AI avatar videos, we show you how to do this without any technical skills. We show you all the tools, the setup, the step-by-step guide, and the instructions inside this section right here. That's what I recommend. Do you have any plans to move to the USA? No, I don't. I went to the USA for the first time ever last year, twice, right? And I went to Los Angeles and I went to Tampa, Florida as well. And I liked it, but my favorite is Asia. Asia is my favorite place to live in the world. I've lived all over the world, like Colombia, Peru, Mexico, Bali, Malaysia, Thailand. I've traveled all over the world as well, to like Italy and Portugal, and pretty much everywhere. But I always come back to Asia. Asia, I think it has a certain magic to it. Do you think you could make something similar to the original Street Fighter with AI? Probably good, actually. I think that'd be interesting. Like, you could navigate the world using that. That's cool, but having a rover on another planet and driving around with a VR headset, exploring real alien worlds would be cooler. Yeah, but I think if you see, it's like, there's this big gap between VR and world exploration and where we currently are. And so, like, you can imagine, just give it a few years, like Project Genie will be something that will help us do that. All right. Thanks for helping me so much with your content. Always happy to help. In terms of automation and business services, which is better, Editor or Clawbot? I have a treadmill, my sand desk tool, great method. Thank you very much, sir. I would agree. And then Code Chimp says, big love. Always happy to help. Thanks so much for watching. So today we're going to be checking out Molt Worker, which is a middleware worker that can use Moltbot, which was formerly known as Clawbot, directly inside Cloudflare's Sandbox SDK, right? So a lot of people are worried about security when it comes to Clawbot and how it connects with the world, etc. And so I'm going to test this out and see how this performs. We've got the full blog over here. I want to see how easy or difficult it is to set up as well. And we've got the full step-by-step instructions right here. So here's some examples. I mean, there's a few security issues with Clawbot, right? So number one is the issue. I'm going to summarize this because it's a super long article. One of the biggest issues, of course, is if you're on a VPS, well, someone could get access to the VPS, and then they can access your Clawbot. That's not a good idea. The other option is that some people could email any sort of email account that you've connected to Clawbot and then use prompt injection to get access to it. Both of those are pretty bad, right? Both of those are bad scenarios. So we don't want that. What we're going to do instead is we're going to try this method using Molt Worker. I'm going to say how to set this up. It'd be good if they just gave you the instructions on exactly how to set it up straight away. That would be way, way easier. Coach Jim says, thanks for covering Cloudflare. I was starting to look into this. Yeah, me too. I want to check this out. I think this will be a good one. So quick setup. Here's how we can install it. And you can see it's actually a GitHub right here. So this is the GitHub that you can use to set it up. And we have to get the workers paid plan, I think, to get this set up. So I'm just going to try this out. We need to sign up to the workers account. I will do that for you, peeps. Let me do that in the background. We have signed up now. So you can see we've upgraded to the workers plan. That was nice and easy. And now we need to get started with this, right? So we're going to get started with setting up Molt Worker. Open this up in a new terminal. And we're going to start by cloning the git clone. From there, we need to set up the API key. So I'm just going to go to console.anthropic in the background and set this up. So you can get an API key here. You just go to API keys down there and then create key like this. And then we need to do npx wrangler secret, put anthropic API key. And then once you've done that inside terminal, so once you follow the terminal commands, it will look something like this, as you can see. All right, so you've got read, here's what we're allowing it to do, here's what it can do. We're going to click on allow here. And we have now allowed that directly. Now we need to grab this stuff. From our terminal, so I'm just going to do that in the background too. And then we should be able to deploy that directly with Cloudflare. PM says, bro, I thought you said Moltbot was GG and hype. No. I always said it's good. The first time I tried it, I couldn't get my head around it and I thought it was hype. But after that, no, I've absolutely loved it. I've been covering it every day on live streams and showing all the cool stuff that I could do with it. So it's pretty amazing. And then also what we need to do is install Docker. So I'm just doing that in the background too. Using terminal. It's just downloading Docker and installing it to my Mac. And then from there, we can npm deploy it again. Is there a replay? I just seen a notification 2 hours ago. Yeah, just go to YouTube, go to the stream section, and you'll see it right there. So you can always replay it and watch it back. SEO says, come to Malaysia. I haven't drunk for pretty much 11 years now. I don't drink at all. Only protein shakes. All right, so we've now set it up, I think. Let me just have a look here in the background. Just going to take the files from terminal and just check if it's okay or not. I think we're going to have to open up Docker too. And Claude is just showing my API key on the live stream. Thank you, mate, for putting that in the chat. Why did it do that? That's crazy. All right. Almac says, how about the security issues in Moltbot have been going about even when installed on other machines? That's why we're using Clawbot and Moltbot with Cloudflare today to see how Moltworker performs. I didn't like the name Clawbot until they renamed it. I would agree. I think the new name is really bad. Really bad. So we've got to set up the API key, generate a gateway token, deploy, and set up Cloudflare access. All right, one sec. And then what we also need to do is enable R2 storage, apparently. So we'll add that in. We do get 10 gigabytes free monthly. Not bad says there's something called remotion. People told that it can automate editing with Claude. Yeah, I've already covered that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. But basically, all you do is like you go inside Claude here and you'd say, okay, install the remotion skill for videos, right? And then basically using Claudebot, you can install this skill from GitHub and start coding out that way. Now, it also says inside Claude Code, R2 is now working. You need to set up a workers.dev subdomain. So go to workers and pages in your Cloudflare sidebar under compute and AI. So here, workers and pages. And then I think we're good to go on that. And now it should be deploying that. So you can see here we've got Moltbot Sandbox set up on the workers and pages section inside Cloudflare. By the way, if anyone's watching this and thinking, oh yeah, Cloudflare have created Malt workers, it must be easy to set up. It doesn't seem easy at all. Like it seems like a lot of technical work, honestly. Just gonna warn you now. And this is a website it should be deployed at once it's fully built out. So you can see here, I've taken the Claude code and it says it's working, it's just slow. The deploy is pushing Docker container layers to Cloudflare. This is a container image loading. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes first time. Just wait for it to finish. And that so far has taken 3 or 4 minutes just to set up. And now you can see the Molt worker is beginning to be set up. We just need to set up the tokens, as you can see right here. But we're much closer to getting that set up, and that's set up on the Moltbot sandbox. You might be wondering, okay, like why would you use Cloudflare versus hosting it locally or hosting it on a VPS, right? So let's talk about that. So a Moltbot is like a personal assistant running 24/7, right? So the old way would be like you buy a computer, put it in your house, the assistant lives there, you're responsible for locking the doors, paying electricity, etc., right? The new way is like Molt Worker on Cloudflare is like instead of using your house, the assistant works from a massive secure office building that Cloudflare owns, right? And you just pay the rent. And so the security is better because it has zero trust access. To keep it more secure. It's got like isolated sandboxes for each task, as you can see. So each task runs in its own sandbox. And if something goes wrong, it can't spread, right? Whereas, for example, if you're using your own setup, everything is shared in the same space. Also, there's no keys lying around. So if you've heard about it already, Clawbot often has these conf files in like plain text with your API key stored, which is not great. And then Cloudflare, like the whole point of Cloudflare is security, right? So they protect pretty much half the internet. Whereas, for example, your Mac, like sitting in your apartment, probably not as secure, right? Same with VPS, where anyone can scrape the website and then get access to the gateway. So it's just a much more secure way of doing this. So let's go back to the setup now. We'll see where we're at. So we need to set up this, as you can see, for the admin UI. how is everyone managing their token usage with Moltbot? So I'm using Codex CLI, and I also set up Kimi K2.5. I also got a video on Olama. So if you want to run a model locally with Olama, then you can do that. And then from there, you can use Olama for free, running it locally with Clawbot as well. So that's another way. So in terms of like what's working best for me, ChatGPT Codex CLI with OAuth. Then from there, using Kimi K2.5 for sub-agents. And then if you really need to, you can use Olama locally for sub-agents as well. Now what we're doing from here is we had to enable inside the workers and pages section. So if you go to compute and AI, workers and pages, settings, and then you want to make sure that for workers.dev, you toggle on Cloudflare access, like you can see. It's quite important. Then you'll get a key, audience key, and you just plug that back into Claude Code if you're setting up with that directly. Now what you'll see on this address is that we'll get a login code emailed to us so that it's secure before anyone can log in. So they need to have their email set up and get a code before they can log in directly. So previously the page looked like this, and now we've got a page where we have to add our email address before people can log in, right? So I'm going to do that in the background. Then it's going to add a container, like you can see. So I emailed a code to my email address, use that code to log into Moltworker. Everything is siloed away inside the container. And that's probably a better way of using it, to be honest. I feel better about using that. Right? Client Flow says, so buying a Mac Mini is pointless. Depends how you want to do it, but for me, like this is working nicely already. And now we've logged into Moltbot Sandbox, like you can see, right? And we just need to set up our token. But this is what it will look like once it's logged in. Did you use a free tier for Cloudflare? So I think it's like $5 to get access to this, something like that. Tim says, I asked Anti-Gravity if I could set it up with an old laptop and install Ubuntu. Interesting. Yeah, I think you could. There's many ways you can set it up. Like an old laptop works perfectly, I think. I think what we need to do to fix this problem is just make sure that we switch the API key, which I'm doing in the background with Claw code. And now, boom, shakalaka, we're in. And you can see it's set up. So the health is okay. It's all set up right here. This is Clawbot ready to go. I'm not going to lie to you. That was the hardest thing that I've ever tried with setting up Clawbot. So if you're looking for an easy way to set up Clawbot, Malt Worker is not the one. But if you're looking for one of the most secure ways to set it up, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let me give you an example, right? So you can see here, for example, we can go to Moltbot admin, like you can see, and then we can actually see which devices are paired, and you can approve devices before they can actually log in. So just to recap here, with Cloudflare and Malt Worker, number one, it takes quite a long time to set up, but once it is, you log in, you set your own API key, and then you approve logins before people can go in. Plus, they have to use an email and log in with a code from that email address before they can log in. So it's quite nice because everything is sandboxed away with Docker. It's not hosted locally. It's not hosted on a VPS. And the only way people can get access is like you approve them first via the admin pairing requests. And then once that's done, then they can get back in. Otherwise, they can't get in at all, right? Which is pretty cool. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get a full guide on setting this up, what I've actually done is plugged in a full guide inside the AI Profit Boardroom on how to set up Malt Worker. So if you want to set this up in a sandboxed environment that's much more secure and you still want to use Clawbot, then I've walked you through the whole process right there. This is inside the AI Profit Boredom community. You can get access, link in the comment description, or go to aiprofitboredom.com. And then from here, you actually get access to a community of 2,200 members. We have a daily accountability group for getting stuff done. Inside the classroom, we have a full we have loads of trainings on Clawbot and Moltbot, including how to set up Malt Worker, which I would recommend if you're worried about security. Like, that's probably a great way to set it up, right? Cloudflare, they have one job, which is keeping things secure. This way you can run things via Docker in a sandbox, and you approve logins before anyone can get access to it, right? And that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. We also have a full 3-hour course on exactly how to use this stuff. So if you go to this section, you'll see a full 3-hour course. It shows you how I create avatar videos with Moltbot, how I create voice clones, voice notes, how I monitor YouTube and run it 24/7 to give me alerts when competitors create outlier videos. It analyzes my own YouTube channel, gives me alerts and reports and that sort of thing. I've connected it to WordPress, Telegram, Notion, anything that you can think of, you can basically do with Moltbot. It's absolutely insane. And then also, if you want to get all of my best playbooks, processes, systems, etc., that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom too. We do 4 weekly coaching calls where you can jump on the calls and ask any questions, meet the community, get help and support whenever you need it. If you go inside the map here, you can connect with people in your local area, which is pretty amazing. You can see that we have 2,200 members all over the world, which is awesome. And then also inside the classroom here, you can learn how to get more clients with our agency course, how to rank #1 inside AI search engines, how to grow a YouTube channel with AI, all based on what's working for me right now. So feel free to get that link in the comments and description. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.